I find the people that bitch the most about their lives, about the government, about the state of the world, are the people who have an external locus of control. That they believe their life is where it's at because of external factors. And we're all guilty of this at one point or another, or throughout, or continuously through our lives. That we love to point the finger and bitch and moan and complain. I was at this training. I did this training, and it was grueling. It was one of the hardest things that I've done. And the trainers were very hard on us, tough, and the goal for them was to push us out of our comfort zone, to make us better at our craft. And I thought, and then afterwards there was somebody that came. All the trainers left, and there was this grand trainer, grand poobah that came in to get our feedback on how we liked the course and the things that we thought were good, bad, and everyone started in about how difficult it was and how that the trainers gave very little praise and positive things and was mostly negative, and that we felt that kind of beat up, and how hard it was, and that the trainers were a little bit too tough and a little bit too unfair. And this one New Yorker in the back of the room just says, "You know what? Man up, grow a pair." And he says, "Stop your bitching." And I thought, my God, just that his one little comment had such an impact on me, and I became so much more aware of how much in myself and other people and society as a whole, how much we just love to bitch. We love to complain. We love to be the victim. We love to not take responsibility of our lives. And one of the most challenging things in with answering people's comments or responding to emails is getting people to take charge of their life, to stop blaming my girlfriend, people at school, society, the government, the conspiracies, on and on and on. The list goes on. And you just give up your personal power, your sense of being able to make a difference in your life when you play the victim. And there was another. There's so many different. Now it's Dr. Laura. People are up in rage about what Dr. Laura said. She used the N word on radio, and people are all offended. And people, oh my God, how could she say that? You know what? If you don't like what people say, don't listen to them. If you don't like my channel, people don't view my videos. But why do we have to change other people to conform to what we feel they should behave like? Isn't that a form of slavery? Are people not allowed to speak freely anymore? We have become such a censoring society that everything has to be politically correct. You have to treat everybody in the appropriate way, and that's why you just don't bother with being honest anymore. Is because the price is too high. It's such a headache, and most people say, you know what? I had another guy at work who was very open and honest and kind of spoke his mind, and which I thought he was very passionate about it, but he did it in a very fair way. And now he's saying he's getting grief from people, other people at work, and from the bosses, and there's this bias against him. And the very thing we should be encouraging, we are stifling. And that's freedom of speech. That's what the country was founded on. And it's a dying freedom. And who is responsible for it? We are. We can't even handle when someone is completely honest with us, brutally honest with us. Oh my God, you hurt my feelings. How could you say that? And I don't know. I just think that one's life is so much happier when they develop thick skin, take everything with a grain of salt, try to glean the truths of what other people say that might be supposedly hurtful, and just grow a pair, man. Just man up, and you know, life is not a bowl of cherries. Life is tough. Life sucks. Life is great. It's all those things, and that's part of the joy of being human. That it's not the same monotonous, happy cotton candy fairies and unicorns every day. It's a mixed bag of cherry pits and and daisies. I don't know. So what the underlying I think the underlying theme or the underlying problem, we always treat the symptoms of well, we're so sensitive, and so I'm going to blame other people for my sensitivity instead of blaming, you know, or treating or plucking out the root cause of what's causing us to be unhappy. And that's just, we've become too delicate. And I don't know. There's just something admirable about people that really very little phases them. They don't get all riled up. They don't get emotional when things don't go their way, or somebody offends them, or somebody's honest with them. And I don't know. There's a lot more joy in being responsible and focusing on living your own life instead of pointing the finger and blaming everyone else and making excuses and whinging and complaining. I don't know. Maybe we just become too soft this day and age, and sometimes it's good to get a good kick in the ass and and just not be so offended so easily. Oh my God. Um, because in reality, what we become is just basically grown up children. Where many of us are children in adults' bodies. So, anyways, thanks for listening.